You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Sunday the 13th of April 2025 and you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, and I'm done. My 6-day working block is done. You heard me speak yesterday, tired from Copenhagen. Luckily I only had one flight today, which was the return flight from Copenhagen. Again, I am tired, but I'm home. And I've got quite a lot to do over the next few days. So the plan is at some point in the next 3 days, hopefully tomorrow, but it depends how busy I end up, to do this final sign off of Still Life. Now I've read it, it's just a case of putting everything through Grammarly one more time, knitting it back together into one file, and then doing the common errors sweep through the document, and then it's done. I've talked about that before, so I won't talk about it again. I'm going to do a recording tomorrow. Not at my own home. I'm doing a short story for T.G. Campbell. Don't know if I'm allowed to say which one, so I won't. But I'm recording a short story for her as a little audio, well, not audio book, but an audio short story. And I'm at home for 3 days now, and then I fly off to Singapore on Thursday. And I do like my television, and I'm kind of a bit behind on it. So I need to watch Celebrity Big Brother. I've watched up till Wednesdays, and there was an eviction on Friday, and I've no idea who went. Although somebody spoilt for me that, what's his name, Mickey Rourke has been chucked out, which means he was one of the ones up for eviction. And so, unfortunately, that does leave me with a fairly good idea who went, because it was between Michael Fabricant and Tylee, an entirely inoffensive human being whose name I can't even remember. So I'm fairly certain I know who went now, whereas before I knew Rourke had been chucked out, it was going to be between Rourke and Fabricant, but now it looks like they're both gone. But anyway, I'll find that out when I watch it. I'll watch an episode or two tonight and then watch the rest tomorrow. There was the new series of Doctor Who started yesterday. I'm struggling to get enthusiastic about it, actually. I thought last year's series was a bit lacklustre. All to do with the writing again. They do great casting and then just seem to, I don't know. There's something not right in the world of Doctor Who at the moment. And it's not about, I'm not one of these people going, oh, it's too woke, and all these so-called fans going, oh, go woke, go broke. But it isn't what it was. And I'm a little bit concerned about its future. But there you go. You know, I don't ever believe it will go forever, but it might have to have a bit of a break before it comes back. I could be wrong. I could be being super gloomy, but it just, something doesn't feel quite right in the world of Doctor Who, which is such a shame. I need to watch Doctor Who. I need to watch Celebrity Big Brother, and I need to catch up on last week's episode of El Dorado that was shown on UN Drama. Because as we're so close to the end now, I might as well watch the whole thing. There we go. So that's the TV I need to watch. The other thing I'm going to quickly talk about is I found out today, because it was shared via Big Finish's social media, that an actor called Jean Marsh has passed away. Now, Jean Marsh obviously has been in loads of stuff. She was a co-creator, writer and actor on a series called Upstairs, Downstairs. She was in Return to Oz. She was in Doctor Who a few times, which is, of course, how I've met her. She was just a wonderful, wonderful actor. I was lucky enough to meet her when I used to do a podcast called Cadmium 2, and we were invited by Big Finish Productions to go along to a recording, and we went along to a story called The Wishing Beast, which had Jean Marsh as one of the guest cast. And she let us interview her for the podcast. I don't think I've still got a copy of it, which is a shame. But she's one of those people who's just got this amazing, gorgeous voice. She's up there with Patrick Stewart, Ciarán McKellen, and David Warner for just having voices you could listen to forever, because they just sound beautiful. And I was lucky enough to interview her for this podcast, and she was such a lovely, down-to-earth, humble lady. Tiny as well, absolutely. I remember shaking her hand and thinking, I can't squeeze too hard because I might squeeze too hard because I might break her. She was absolutely terrific, and she was... Doctor Who fans recognise her as a Doctor Who companion. In fact, the second one ever to get killed off. Whereas she would argue she was only in the one story and therefore isn't. But that one story was a 12-week epic. She wasn't in all of it. But there is a narrative break in that story which loads of other mediums such as Big Finish and the books and stuff have explored stuff that happened within that story, making her a bona fide companion. She's absolutely just... it's very sad to hear that she's gone. As I say, she I don't know how young she was. She wasn't young. And I don't suppose from that point of view it's a shock. But I was thrilled to meet her. I must see if I can find a copy of that interview anyway. Maybe I can put it out as an extra on here. She was just absolutely charming and lovely. Great actor. Seemed to enjoy herself a lot. And worked for Big Finish a lot. So after I interviewed her for that podcast, at that point she was just a guest actor, whereas later for Big Finish she picked up the role she played on Doctor Who. She played a character called Sarah Kingdom, who was briefly a companion to the first Doctor. And it was after I interviewed her that Big Finish kind of then got her to do these stories. So, she's wonderful. It's such a shame. Not really a surprise because she wasn't a young lady, but genuinely, when you hear someone famous has died, you know, if you know who they are and you like them, it always packs a little bit of a gut punch. And because I'd met her slightly more. So yes, rest in peace, the absolutely wonderful Jean Marsh. And that'll do me for today. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.